started and I need to kind of speed through this, but Childless is a clear pick here. All the miners kind of suck, so I'm gonna go Bread Paddle for extra bake actions off of Childless Grain. But yeah, little unfortunate there. Um, okay. Here now. Um, the minor improvements. I'm probably not really gonna play Hand Plow in time for me to care much about it. Manger and Junk Room and Corn Scoop aren't really options. It's Mining Hammer or Lumber Mill. Both are quite good. As for the the occupation, it's probably Sheepwalker. Childless can give veg, but I've increasingly been using Childless just for grain source and food and been quite happy with it. And so then Sheepwalker options are fun. And then I probably do take Lumbermill. Potentially have some extra stone this game, maybe. So we'll do that. Okay. I gotta throw out stream announcements here. Alright, it's been a while for Agricola. So, since it has been a while for Agricola, the Agricola world's been pretty good to me. I've had a couple of wins since we've last streamed, and I was up to second, but then Bubble, leapfrogged me here. But 1789 is pretty good. I actually thought I was, for some reason, I thought I was back up into the 1790s, but I don't think I'm probably just misremembering because I don't think I've lost for a little while at least, which is nice. Yeah, no, I definitely haven't. Well, okay, a while back I was up to 1790, but then yeah, I had this rough one, and then since then I've had a nice run of not too much problems. So we'll see. Anyhow, this game, I didn't even peek yet at how my opponents are rated. But I got a first seat. I have first seat and I have a first pick childless, so it can't go that bad. Stonecutter, oh heck yes. Love Stonecutter with Lumbermill. That's excellent. Love Mini Pasture with Sheepwalker. Yeah. Sign me up for all of this. Bottles is slightly tempting, but I often find Bottles is hard to play. I don't take it. Wow. Wow. Okay, so this table's not very good in my opinion. Somebody is supposed to have taken Plow Driver and hoped to wheel Scholar at this point, right? I mean, absolutely, somebody is supposed to have done that. Like, absolutely insane that none of them went for that. Robo's pretty good, 277. This player is 174, and this player is 221. Okay, so I mean, none of them are particularly strong. I take Plow Driver here. I potentially go Childless into Plow Driver. Even if I get like 2 fields with grain set up with Childless, I can use a late Plow Driver later. Oh, also, you guys can't see my whole screen. Whoops. I realize I'm on the wrong thing. Here we go. Also sound check. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was on the wrong view. But Plow Driver clearly is the pick. And then I could get a pretty good Plow Driver mantelpiece with Stonecutter, maybe. I also like shifting cultivation quite a bit with Childless. You can often get the field and then sow into it. So, I think I actually do take shifting cultivation here. I find mantelpieces hard to work in a Stonehouse game plan. Like, a lot of times it's only 1 or 2 points, and I think shifting cultivation is going to have more upside. Wow, okay, some further great cards. Priest is really a good option for the Plow Driver game plan, but it doesn't work with Childless, and I think I should just be running Childless. But I potentially should drop Childless, as crazy as that is, and just run Storehouse Keeper this game too for Grand. Because Storehouse Keeper into Plow Driver stuff is also like really strong. These 3 cards here form a pretty great game plan also. I'm never playing Sack Cart. I have other good grain options. I don't see a reason for Clay Embankment, so maybe Hard Porcelain, although given I have a stone cutter and stuff, I doubt I need that much stone, but... Yeah, this is kind of a crazy hand, especially if I think I'm playing weaker players. Storehouse Keeper is like really tempting to just play in first seat and just ignore racing childless stuff. Wow, we get Mining Hammer back too. Mining Hammer is actually incredible here with Sheepwalker. If I do early Reno stuff, I just have spots to put breeding sheep in. And then Clay Hut Builder is the only card here because Wall Builder's dumb. Um, this is just, yeah, this is just wild. Like, absolutely wild. Um, and I say it's wild just because I have so many good cards. Like I'm clearly ahead out of the draft. I get an organic farmer last. That's also sweet. Organic farmer is like legit playable, and then it's even better with the fact that I have mining hammer, so I already have stables for organic farmer. So, okay, so the play typically is just take 3 wood and be happy about running childless stuff. The other play is just drop Storehouse Keeper and be happy with just Storehouse Keeper stuff. And not worry about childless stuff. The Storehouse Keeper is probably more of a gamble. If I'm allowed to get a bunch of Reedstone food off Storehouse Keeper, I actually think it might just be better. But Storehouse Keeper is really only going to work if I get like at least 2 Reedstone food grains early. And that by early I mean stage 1. So do I want to gamble that this table is going to undervalue Reedstone food? Or do I just say, hey, I'm going to play Childless and have a great game? Or a great start. I think I just play Childless, have a great start. I've increasingly said at weaker tables, just grow in first has a ton of value. And so having Childless go in and having the first room tempo is probably worth it here. Small scale farmers getting played. I don't remember passing that, but again, I'm bad about remembering small scale farmer because I just don't find it to be a great card. It certainly can be, right? I probably undervalue small scale, but Reedstone food is getting taken before Ock, so I think that's a good sign that I didn't play Storehouse Keeper because an opponent might actually understand to take Reedstone food, or it means they have a Carpenter's Parlor and they understand they need it. Wow, Tiller is in the game. Okay, it's a good card. I'm pretty happy about this player having Tiller though. It hopefully means that they have better things to do with their second action than start player. Like hopefully they won't start player, they'll just play Tiller. And the more they day labor, the better the rest of the board becomes. So that's kind of a dream, but we'll see. Um, wow, we get Plow instead of 2 clay, and we get Plow there, which is a very unique location, or very interesting location. CS used to advocate for center Plow, not seriously, but that was the funny. He used to argue. He used to try to do center plows. CS on Bois de Jus, center plowed once, and then found out that you can fence around your plow on Bois de Jus. I don't know if that bug still exists, but I suspect it does. Just because Bois de Jus assumed nobody would ever try to like fence around like there's just no check for it. Anyhow, I take greenstone food here, and then on the wheel, I'm gonna get 2 wood or 3 wood, and I'm just running childless things. The 4 clay is mildly tempting. Improvement was in round 1 and sheep flipped, but I'm not playing that game. But this is incredible value for somebody. 4 clay into hearth while sheep have flipped is really, really a very nice sequence for food. Um, if I wasn't like so locked into childless, I would probably just be jumping on that. Although my food's pretty good anyhow, but uh, Rob is taking a lot of wood early and not a lot else. I'm actually really kind of surprised, Rob. Nobody's going for this clay. That's just crazy to me. But Tutor's coming out. That's fine. Very non-threatening to me. They might have got the Scholar on the wheel, so this might be Tutor into Scholar later. Wow, nobody's taking the clay. Wow, playing Geologist instead of taking 4 clay. Just not a strong play, but I gotta run Childless here. Just get Childless in round 3. It's just the right move. I just take 2 wood and I run my life. But The fact that 4 clay is wheeling to Rob here and he might not be taking it, this might be a big country guy. Like, this is looking like 2-room big country, potentially. Although, this plow also. Okay, he is taking the 4 clay. That's good. Somebody should. There's 4 clay is a really good action. My next round is pretty clearly I play Childless and I build a room. This is the one downside of playing Childless. It's a little formulaic almost, but I certainly have had a good start here. Nothing is wrong about my game. And nobody else is doing room parts very well except for the player after me. And hey, if the player after me has room parts, that's fine by me. Even if he builds a room, I'm in front of him, so it's a lot more likely that I get to grow first. Always nice when that stuff works out. More plowing from Teal is also just kind of interesting. Is Teal the big country player? Like, I don't know what's happening here for sure. Just more plowing for purple. I've said this before, but I really don't think this is the strongest way to play Tiller. Playing Tiller and taking a bunch of day labor actions early is like, it's fine if you actually put crops in those fields, but I don't think he's putting crops in those fields. I think he's just playing that, but whatever. We play Childless, and then we build a room on the wheel. Just staying start player this whole time is also just kind of sick. Although, to be fair, I took a lot of the best miners to play early. I have all of this stuff, so the player after me does take 2 reeds, so they're a small scale farmer, but they're the only one that has room parts, so that's also intriguing. Just taking fishing here. This has to be start player Brook into geologist shenanigans, and hey, if they want to start player with a Brook, I also don't care too much. I'm pretty content. Pretty content with being second next round. I mean, I'd rather just stay first because I'm a greedy son of a gun. But I'm guessing this fish grab is gonna play Brook. Reedstone Food's a good action. I'm curious. I'm curious when red is gonna build a room and what they'll do. Curious about quite a few things actually, but we'll see how this stuff plays out. Rob still hasn't actually built the cookery, so I think my play next. Wow, Teal's starting. That's a bummer because Purple wanted to play Brook. Purple might just play Brook on Major then, honestly. I don't think it's crazy. Brook plus Geologist is at least something. Okay, so the early stone from Teal was Carpenter's Parlor, and Teal has not been getting reads since, so that's pretty delightful. Although, wait, didn't Teal play Tutor instead of taking Reedstone Food in a round? No, I took Reedstone Food round 2. Never mind. Okay. Just day labors again, not a Brook. I think that 3 food move is very weak then from Purple. Like, why did you take 3 food? I think that's really pretty bad. I'm taking 4 clay here if I'm I take 4 clay if I'm allowed to, and I build like a hearth if I'm allowed to, actually. Yeah, I'm taking 4 clay if I'm allowed to. I mean, these wood stack, like, this board is crazy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 good actions, plus building the hearth is going to be very good. So, definitely some wildness. Teal doesn't even take reed here, takes the wood, which is reasonable, but Teal really needs reed. Wow, and purple's not even touching the board, which is a mistake in my opinion. Grocer, I mean, okay, that's why they took food. But yeah, the stacks, I agree, Kimball. It stacks. I'm taking 4 clay with the upshot of possibly getting the hearth if red doesn't suck it up. But I'm going to go for the upside of that. But 4 wood was very tempting there. 4 wood is just a strong action. The 4 food is mildly tempting too, but I think I'd rather set up hearth and long-term feeding rather than just taking a bottom feeding action. I also could potentially just live with oven stuff, so we'll see. Again, there's... anyhow, good morning, Kimball. I mean, I'm playing not very strong players is what I've figured out. I mean, none of them have done anything, like, terribly wrong, but I don't think any of them are playing that strong. Maybe Red. Red hasn't necessarily done anything too wrong yet, except for Red's put themselves in this position. Red didn't build the hearth yet, and now they're debating, do I rather just have, like, the board is crazy good, and Red might have to take a hearth here. in order to get that first sheep grab. So that part I don't like about Red's game. Yeah, and Red's not even going to secure the hearth. Red's setting up for a double build. Teal doesn't get read on the wheel, which is delightful. Nobody can build a room. Good morning. Are you playing in the tournament, Skimball, this weekend? I think I'm going to play both Saturday and Sunday for Williams stuff, but I don't... I'm being slightly slow on committing, which isn't helping, but... Anyhow, I think Red's trying to angle for a double build, which is fine by me. Nobody can build a room, so I just still have the only rooms. If growth flips, I just get it. Teal decides to take food. Okay, that's fine. The board is still insane. Insanely good. I think I am going to just build the hearth here, though. I can start taking veg on Childless, and as much as I thought I was going to bake things, I can just be the guy running a hearth. Grocer is buying stuff here. Oh, Grocer's gonna sow crops. Remember how I said early fields are only good if you sow crops? To his credit, he is gonna sow a grain and a veg here. But oh my god, is the board gonna be jacked? Because I'm also talking about building a hearth here instead of touching all of the good actions. Oh my god. Yeah, this is insane. This is an insane game. You told William you tried to show up, but you have other obligations. Ah, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Purple undoes that, which is painful because, yeah, I have to watch them buy everything again. Oh, but they... Yeah, they accidentally bought another good, is what happened. They need to sow, but they accidentally bought a clay for some reason. Okay. So I think I continue with the plan here. I think I just build the hearth. I said it had a lot of value. I'm going to get a huge sheep grab next turn. There's no way for me to get sheep swept unless somebody just takes the sheep. I'm leaving insane stacks at the start of next round. That's the real bummer here. But I think just having really easy food off a hearth is strong. So it's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, definitely a little wild to continue to ignore 4 wood. There's gonna be a 6 wood stack. Like, yeah, there's gonna be 6 wood, 5 clay, 2 reed. There's gonna be 4 sheep. Like, a lot of good stuff. But I'm not even sure Teal might take 6 wood just because it's so strong. But Teal continuing to delay rooms by not taking reed is also like pretty nuts. I guess I'm also partly gonna feed on veg. I don't know if I'm even trying to have early fields anymore. I still have Sheepwalker in hand, so I think I take at least 1 more grain here. Growth doesn't flip anyhow, which is fine. I'm assuming Red's gonna double build this round. Teal does just take the 6 wood, which makes a lot of sense. If 5 clay gets offered to me, do I take 5 clay here? Or... Oh, I should have taken a veg. I should have taken a veg and start player in mini pasture and then taken the sheep. That would have been pretty sick. That was actually bad of me. Yeah, not early growth is nice, but I should have thought about that a bit more. Taking a veg there would have been pretty strong because I could have played mini pasture into the sheep here. Oh, I'm mad at myself. That's actually like really good. I guess I could get greedy and not take the sheep this round and see if anybody's going to threaten them. And then I could just mini pasture into the sheep next round. Or I could just eat a raw grain and say I made a mistake. Or just read stone food into start player. Yeah, I mean that's probably right. The only slight downside of this plan is that if growth flips, what am I doing? If growth flips, I'm just... Oh, I lumber mill. Oh, that's hilarious, actually. I lumber mill into assuming the sheep wheel to me. Yeah, I mean, Reedstone Food's just the best action here. I mean, Reedstone Food, well, teal presumably gets 2 reed here. Red probably just double builds. Although red might be trying to keep small scale farmer going, who knows? We'll see. If I can get mini pasture up and then get the sheep and have breeding sheep and then play sheepwalker, pretty nice start. Pretty nice start. But red's gonna force me to take the sheep. It's a bummer, but it's fine. Nope, they're just gonna undo that. I'm also fine with that, because, yeah. I mean, red's... I'm not gonna let red have the sheep, so... Again, this is where red, I think, made a big mistake, though. Red got the first clay grab, and Major was just sitting there in the one. I don't totally know when red was supposed to take a... I don't know when red was supposed to take that action, but I think they were supposed to. Red now has a seasonal worker. We got some day labor fights. Love to see that. Love to see that they're separated. All of that's good. This is the easiest 2 read for teal. So teal takes 2 read. Purple might build a hearth or something. Although purple might just want a clay oven. That would be fine, actually. I don't really want an oven anymore. I'm living the hearth life this game. At least red didn't rage quit when I built the cooking hearth in front of them. Yeah, Reedstone Food's the best action on any board. You're right. You're right, Kim Ball. I should have just played Storehouse Keeper and just taken Reedstone Food all game. Teal's gonna play an Ock off of Tutor. Teal must have a Brushwood Collector then. If Teal's Ocking here, it almost has to be Brushwood Collector instead of Take 2 Read. It is Brushwood Collector. Okay, it's fine. Lucky me. Yeah. I mean, things are looking like it's going pretty ideal. Nobody's even building a room because they love me so much. Okay, clay oven. Don't pressure the sheep. Let me get away with this mini pasture. It's a hearth. Okay, fine. Fine. I'll just mini pasture later. Nobody's built a room yet anyhow, so like it's still just hilariously good at the moment. It's my own fault. Should have been ready. As I said, I should have taken the veg and should have been able to just have the sheep this round. But I didn't because I missed the line. So that's a bit of a bummer though, because if I had noticed that line earlier, definitely think it's a bit better. We get late growth anyhow though. I mean, this is a dream. Late growth is so strong. I guess I take at least one veg, because it's also... I'm feeding off, like, veg and hearth stuff. And I might just not play Sheepwalker. Late family growth, good game? Yeah, I think so. I think so, too. I get first growth, I had childless going. This table is just kind of weak. Everything else about my hand's good. I still can run Plow Driver this game, too. It looks like Plow Driver might only be 3 fields, it might be 4 fields, but who cares? Like, that's still going to be quite good. Yeah, things are good. I think this round is probably just start player for growth, and I probably do play mini pasture. I think mini pasture provides a lot of options, and then I think I play stonecutter as my second action this round, unless I get offered something like 4 wood and I'm not expecting to. But then I play stonecutter, I grow lumber mill. Teal's gonna try the start build. Oh, and it's gonna work. Okay, that will work. Wait, no, it won't. Red can just build rooms. This should not work. Red should just build rooms, but red might not build rooms because red might not be a good enough player. But this is not sensical. Red should absolutely build rooms here because it should move red up in the growth queue. Like, also red should probably just build 1 room. I'm talking like multiple rooms, but there's no way red should not actually probably build 2 rooms, even though they have the resources to do so. But okay, I don't have to start player this round. Sure. I might not get first growth because teal might actually wheel, but whatever. I take 4 wood here if I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to take 4 wood. Okay, sure. I think well, do I take 4 wood or am I lining up for the Reno? Maybe I should just be rushing Renos, right? I have Plow Driver in hand. There's time to take wood later. Sure. Let's rush out Plow Driver stuff if we're allowed to, right? You think still take 4 wood just because 4 wood's good? See, Kimball, this is what happens when I play too much on BGA. There's a lot of wood injection on BGA. A lot of wood. I'm pretty convinced I could get wood later this game. Although I guess there's not that much wood injection in this one. We've only seen small scale farmer. I'm the expert here. Yeah, I mean, I've also been playing too much with bad players. Am I growing first? It's not clear deranged. Teal start playered, and they might get build back. But red should just build rooms and help me grow first, because it should also move red up the growth queue. Yeah, teal played Brushwind Collector. But I don't think this is a good start build, because red should build. I'm not sure red will, but red should build. I'm gonna go with rushing out Plow Driver is better, but I'm not convinced that's true. Did they start Carpenter's Parlor? No, they started Large Greenhouse. Gordon also likes the clay. Okay. Even if red doesn't build, who cares? I mean, I agree. Red's gonna go for like a triple build or something absolutely nonsensical, given that it's late growth, but that's fine. Teal will build a million rooms and grow first, and I'm just growing second still, because purple... Oh, purple maybe gets to room, but yeah. I agree, Kimball. It doesn't matter. I have Childless going. If I grow second, yeah, it's whatever. I still have this easy. I mean, I would assume so. Yeah. I would be pretty surprised. If 4 wood comes back, I probably will take 4 wood, but my instinct is to play Stonecutter here so I can start player Lumber Mill. Clay looks way better. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I just think there's a lot of wood. I also have a mini pasture. Like, I'll eventually get my wood, but I am gonna play Stonecutter here. Yeah, I'm gonna play Stonecutter. I want Stonecutter out long term. I'm probably not getting the 3 stone next round because I do have to start player. Teal is gonna grow and then have to take food. I mean, this is the other problem with Teal's game. Like, he's gonna have to take a food action on the wheel. Like, that's fine, but it's underwhelming. The game plan involves getting 1 more Reedstone food action, and maybe I do need 3 stone. I don't know. What do I do here? I'll take another veg, I guess. This looks suspiciously like a triple build, which is just a really bad plan, though. If this is triple build, there is more wood pressure than I want there to be. But I'll find a way. I mean, I'm adding... Mini Pasture adds so much wood to the game because I'm going to play it, Red will play it. Like, a lot of players are going to play Mini Pasture eventually. You thought you left the channel auto... Oh, no, we're here, Gonzo. We're here. Yeah, I mean, Red appears that they're happy building later because of small scale, but I mean, this is a classic mistake of letting small scale go too long, right? Like, if Red had just built earlier rooms, they're better pressured, they grow sooner. Like, I think life goes better for them. Red needs to build this round anyhow. Also, I was gonna say, could Purple buy the... Purple could have bought this reed here, right? Oh no, Purple doesn't really have food because they hearth. Wait a sec. I don't have to start player yet, right? I mean, okay, this is tricky. Small scale is probably best 3 to 4. I mean, sometimes it's even 5 to 6. Red had a perfectly legitimate like 5 wood, maybe even a legitimate 6 wood small scale, but I still think Red should have built last round. I think 3 reed is nonsensical. Like, I don't know what it's doing. So Red needs food. Teal needs food. Purple needs food. I'm a greedy son of a gun. I take 3 stone, and I say I'm gonna wheel start player, and I'm pretty sure I do. Greed is good. Is red gonna ultra expensive triple build? I believe so, Gonzo. Although red doesn't even build yet. Red has to build this round. Teal has to take fishing here. Yeah, we'll see. But this looks really good to me. Can red SP mining hammer? No, I have mining hammer in my hand, so no, red cannot. The big issue of taking 3 stone was that red could have start playered into build, and I would just gambled that wasn't happening. And indeed it didn't. We get away with exactly what I want. I get to SP out lumber mill, and then I can grow like mining hammer, and then I rend the well, and life is just dandy. Red hates building, yeah. Is there a house steward in the draft? There is a house steward in the draft. That's true. Red might have a house steward and wants to go for 3 rooms, but it's obviously terrible here. Red's growing way too late for 3 rooms to be correct. But I'm just going to continue chugging along with, hey, we're running Childless into Plow Driver in a late growth game. We do have wood issues. We eventually have to get wood, but we're gambling that we can take a bunch of 3 wood actions late and it'll be fine. Hey, ProHal. You have the card. You have to play the. It's true, Kimball. You can't just ignore House Steward. You gotta get 3 rooms. Ugh. Yeah, red still didn't build because red wants to let teal grow too much. So I agree. That's like it's just a huge mistake. I think I just take another veg here. I'm feeding off veg, and I'll eventually just sow 2 grain this game and have 2 grain fields. I think that's fine. I think it's better to just make my food easy off of Hearth. If I mean, Hearth is looking great. Animals are piling up again. Honestly, mini pasture here is not crazy. Well, mining hammer works though. Mining hammer is gonna give me a stable. So, because I'm just gonna renovate to the well. I can renovate to the well because of lumber mill, which is hilariously fun. Or I look at the board and I realize that the board is still jacked and I might still take something off the board instead of this. Wow, yeah, because, okay, red must have a sleeping corner first pick. Like, this looks like sleeping corner from red. And so the 3 rooms makes a little more sense then, but this is bad. How many Reedstone foods early? Only 2. We got 2 Reedstone foods early and then we got a 3 stone grab last round. How does this look like sleeping corner? Because they sowing 2 grain fields here. They don't have any fields or grain. What are you talking about? Red just sowed 2 grain. Oh, I see. I don't have things the right size and you guys can't see it. That explains things. Sorry, I wasn't looking. There, we shrink that down a little. It was underneath my chat. I get you. Sorry. Okay. What's happening? Teal did not start player for growth. Okay, these guys are just leaving 4 wood on the table. They're leaving 3 sheep. What is this? Why does everybody hate resources this game? This is a conjurer from Teal because they can't feed. Oh my god, this is just insanity. I guess I just take 4 wood because I can't pass on 4 wood, and who cares? I'll get the renos soon. Or am I still supposed to just focus on the renos? No, I'm not supposed to focus on the renos anymore. I have food. There's 4 wood on the table. I can't delay things. I can still get a great plow driver going, assuming I get Reno in 9 and 10, which I might not get Reno in 9 and 10, but we'll see. It's goofy, but you like it. We just take wood. I think we just take wood. I mean, honestly, everything's gonna be good this game. My opponents are doing too many sloppy bad things. Like, none of them have like. Red has no food anyhow. If they're gonna try to build 3 rooms and grow a sleeping corner, they're gonna starve. So that's fun. Teal is starving. The only people that have food are purple and me because we have hearths and there's crazy good animals this game. But like the rest of these players are just dying. Like I'm gonna get to renovate to the well. I'm eventually gonna plow driver, even if it's only a 3-field plow driver. Who cares? Like, it's gonna be strong. I have all my crop points figured out. Like, my game is just smooth, and it's gonna be smooth. Red's still not building. Red blocks traveling because Red's so hungry. Teal has no food now and no clay. Teal is in huge trouble. Teal pretty much has to take 4 clay and build a fireplace here, and then hope to God that Purple and I don't punish him. And that's exactly what he's doing. He has to go for that. But Teal looks like they're just going to starve. I'm totally putting food pressure on the table if that's what it... Well, 6 wood might be there. This is tricky. If Purple takes the sheep, Purple does not. Okay, well, that clears some things up. There's going to be good animal piles. Teal's going to get one of them. Although I could just take... No, whatever. It's a distraction. I take 6 wood at the start of the round. There's going to be 6 wood, though, because Teal can't take 3 wood here. So I'm getting gifted a 6 wood action because everybody's too hungry. And that's the advantage my food's going to get me here. I just get 6 wood into Reno well. Oh, Purple is double building. Oh, that's... There's too many. My opponents are building too many rooms, and then they're going to leave all... They're all going to be so wood-starved, and yet I'm going to have all the wood. Like, this game is just... Yeah, this is just insanity. Teal has to just build fireplace here. It's the only way he can feed. And I will let him have the sheep, so it's huge. But I'm getting 6 wood. Like, yeah, this is nuts. Just nuts. I don't even think Teal can afford to grow next round, right? Like, Teal could try to grow, but then Purple and I do food pressure him, so... Wow, Teal doesn't build anything, though. What is that? Teal's going to try to renovate. Teal's going to renovate to the fireplace, is my guess. That's going to suck. Teal renovating this round is gross. But Teal's going to just starve if he does. Like, Teal already is starving, in my opinion. Like, I'm going to take the sheep because I'm a jerk. Like, there is no hearth, Gordon. Both of the hearths are bought. There's no hearth in this game. There's only fireplaces. Could I Red first action? I could Red first action, but there's 6 wood. Start player junk room? What are you doing, Red? I guess Red start building finally. But I'm pretty annoyed that I'm second here, because I don't think that's a... Like, just build your damn rooms. Like, I'm not even sure anybody's growing first. Oh my god, what is this game? Yeah, apparently Red doesn't have Sleeping Corner, because that should have been Sleeping Corner instead of Junk Room. Wow, Teal takes the wood! I mean, I'm gonna Red here, and then I'll take animals. Like, this is insanity. I've never seen somebody float food like this. They're literally just starving. Tactical beggars incoming, apparently. Am I renovating to the well here? I think I read mini pasture, right? I read mini pasture because I'm going to wheel animals. And then I just renovate to the well later. And I eat a veg? Yeah, I just eat a veg. No, I eat my sheep because I'm going to get an animal pair back. I have a sheep in my house. Yeah, I just eat the sheep because I'm going to get animals. Yeah, I think this is right. I can get the well. I presumably get the well, or I just build the stone oven. Like, who cares? I think this mini pasture has way too much value. I get to take a bunch of breeding animals. Like, here does come Red's room builds finally. So, I mean, Red's going to get the next growth. Teal has so many rooms and can't grow into them because they have no food. I still think Teal's starving here. Teal builds a fireplace. I take the sheep. Even if he gets the boar, like, I don't see who stops me from getting the well. I mean, I agree. I also don't see who's actually going to stop me from getting the well. I think I get to take Reedstone food into Renovate Well into Plow Driver is the dream next round, and it might happen. But I'm from 4th seat next round, so that limits me. But oh, I agree, Gordon. So much wood has gone into fencing. Now, I did just add mini pasture to the game, so people will eventually figure out their fences. But this is, I mean, I think so, Gonzo. I mean, none of like Teal's gonna starve. Teal's building the fireplace here, but they were too late. Like this is just a huge mistake. Nobody has the food for mini pasture. That's hilariously true, though. You're absolutely right. Nobody has the food for mini pasture. Like, yeah, I mean, this game's just these players made tons of mistakes. The value this game that I've gotten is insanity. Okay, so I don't get the sheep, but you know, whatever. I breed boar here. Like, that's fine. My sheep walker's a little sad, but Teal literally is taking three beggars, right? Like, it's just insanity. And I have breeding boar going. That's incredible for my food. Purple's the only one with a reasonable game. Correct. Purple's the only one with a reasonable game, and you know why purple has a reasonable game? Purple's fed. But to be fair, actually, red can grow and then try to get stone and stone oven. Red might at least get their food figured out, but then red has no wood for fences. It's gonna take them a while. They do have a mini pasture, but yeah, I mean, I can complete my fencing whenever I want. I'm gonna rush out plow driver and hopefully get 4 fields or at least get 3. Yeah, whatever. Red did just spend 15 wood on rooms. I agree. This is yeah. This is a nutty game. I mean, these players weren't rated particularly highly, but this is what always confuses me on BGA. Some players are not rated very highly, and they play pretty bad games, and they make big mistakes, and then I just have easy wins because this game in particular, they let me get away with Hearth into taking huge animal grabs too often. They let me get away with just being fed and getting huge piles. Like, it was easy. But then sometimes I play 250 level players and they do everything right. Like, they just have incredibly good games. And it's frustrating because then I lose a ton of elo when you lose to them. I don't lose to them. I still don't lose to them that often, but sometimes I really have to work for my wins. This one I haven't really had to work for at all. Some of you missed the draft, but this is a fourth pick plow driver. And it's not just a fourth pick plow driver. It's a fourth pick plow driver in a pack that also had Scholar and Groom. I have no idea how somebody didn't pick plow driver and hope to wheel Scholar. Like, it's absolutely baffling to me. You don't like to put yourself in a situation where you need 40 wood for the game? Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't like that. I eat the sheep here. Teal saying something about how he wasn't paying attention to his food and he starved. We did notice that. He's watching Formula One. Yeah, I mean, Teal definitely threw away their game, but hey, it happens. Hey, we got breeding boar though. Life's pretty good. Admittedly, our food isn't infinitely good. Plow driver is expensive, but all animals are early again. Like, we might get a pair of cows in a lucky world. Interested to see if we make it to round 14. Teal doesn't seem like they're quitting in any way. Teal's like, yeah, I did that to myself and I'm just chugging along. So whatever. Red grows first action. Red does have a sleeping corner. But this is a real mistake to play junk room first, right? Like, well, I guess it's not. But yeah, red sleeping corner like, they're gonna grow to 5 family members, but they're not gonna. Their 5th family member doesn't come till round 12 anyhow. Like, it's just too late. Okay, Teal could now build the well, but I gotta take Reedstone food into Reno. Teal could just renovate to the well and crush me, but oh well. Played out 5 rounds with 4 beggars is so rough. You hope Formula One's entertaining. Good luck. You gotta go to work. See ya, Kimball. I mean, it should be pretty good luck. It looks like I'm gonna lose the well here. Although, am I losing the well? Teal building the well doesn't really solve their main issue. But whatever. It does. Yeah, I might. We'll see. He'll go for Stone Oven. I mean, that's gonna force his Reno to be awkward. So there's that. But I gotta go read Stone Food here and hope to get Reno. And if I don't get Reno, oh well. I mean, it's certainly gonna be a bummer if I don't get Reno. But if I don't get Reno, I just fence and then I start player for the cows or something with shifting cultivation and move on. Yeah, Teal seems to be a really good sport about taking the beggars, so that's nice. Looks like he's gonna play it out. Anyhow, I agree that Stone Oven seems to make more sense for Teal, but what about Clay Hut Builder into Pottery? Um, yeah, I guess that's an option. It's usually in late growth games that just feels slow to me, but he's Dutch and responded. You can see why he doesn't mind the beggars. Nice. Red is just day laboring because he needs food. That's fine. That's such. It's Red also doesn't have food. Red's starving here with like yeah. Red's totally out of this game. Oh hey, I don't actually want popularity. We've been through this before, chat. Sorry, bot. No one. Yeah, you're correct, Gonzo. That's all right. We banned Angelo. Okay, so things are a little awkward if we don't get Reno here. Reno into Plow Driver is hilariously strong. Reno well into Plow Driver is hilariously strong, and it could get blocked. But it doesn't. That is Clay for presumably a Stone Oven. Good call. I get Reno into the well because this game is magical. Oh, so good. Reno, well, Plow Driver. Sign me up. Sign me up. The slight downside is that my food does become a slight bit of trouble, and I'm not sure I'm going to get animals next round, actually, because I'm last here, and I don't anticipate not being last. And people need a lot of food. Oh, actually, maybe I will be not last. Purple might start player for growth. Purple has an open room, but Purple's just taking wood because they're apparently understand they need wood, which is good. But yeah, I mean, I could eat a pig and a veg in the worst case. I agree. Like, I'll don't. I'm making it sound worse than it is. I'll find a way. It's gonna be okay. My game's still stupidly good, like stupidly good. But the food is just like it would be magical if I just got a pair of pigs or a pair of cows next round to really just accelerate us out of any food problem. But we're about to have a 4-field Plow Driver. We have actual point ceiling in Lumbermill Well and a stone house. We're gonna have our fencing done. We have possible organic farmer things, although honestly I think we might have too many animals to make organic farmer work. But this reminds me of our game, but instead of me having all the cards, my opponents are just giving me everything. Yeah, I mean, I have pretty good cards. My draft was pretty good. I think my opponents drafted a little weak. Although, I mean, I didn't get past Tiller and Grocer, right? I like there's some level of I didn't get sleep. I never saw Sleeping Corner, never saw Carpenter's Parlor. Like my opponents actually did largely draft the best cards outside of Plow Driver. Plow Driver 4th was pretty nuts. Mining Hammer was like 5th or 6th. That's also pretty bad, but slightly better hand. But I agree. This is mostly my opponents just misvaluing the board continually. Yeah. I agree, Gonzo. My hand here is solid and slightly better than my opponent's. I agree. In the other game we had the other day, I just had a stupid hand. Teal is start playing, possibly for growth, possibly for animals. I guess worst case scenario, I get a pair of sheep. Even a pair of sheep next round. Ooh, a loom. See, some of these players do know how to draft. I never saw loom this game either. Like the first 2 picks are loom and Carpenter's Parlor. But yeah, Teal's gonna have to open the cows just to feed, and then it might go boar. But even if I can take a pair of sheep, if I can take a pair of sheep and then like fence next round, and then yeah, I just eat a veg and a pig anyhow, and then I get some breeding sheep going. That's also pretty welcome. You think you like loom more than big country? Wow. See, I don't think that's a correct call, but Loom is very strong, and I continue to be sad about. I think I've been passing Loom too much again, right? There was the game I took Milk Jug instead of Loom, and I think that's actually why I lost. Like, I think I've been getting too chummy about that stuff. So, this is a really nice so bake from Purple. This is part of why Purple's having such a good game. Actually, wait, I still might get the boar next round. Purple is fed, and I don't think Teal's growing first action, right? Teal growing first action looks suicidal again, so presumably actually Purple will grow. Loom doesn't force you into a couple different lines like Big Country. Loom is much more flexible. Loom is very flexible, but Big Country is so strong. But I hear you. Big Country is also very not flexible. So, anyhow, we play Plow Driver here, obviously, because it's hilariously good. With Stonecutter, we also do still have the option of picking up a guild. I could just build the joinery, for example. The joinery only cost me 1 wood, 1 stone because of lumber mill and stonecutter. That's really not a terrible option to just throw down a joinery for 2 points off of some resources I don't really need. But regardless, we'll see. Teal being suicidal would certainly be a change of pace. I mean, that's true. Teal could just grow here anyhow, but wow, Teal's gonna reno first action. Oh, stone oven. Okay, but am I getting a pair of cows then? Oh my god, getting a pair of cows would be incredible. Oh, I might get it though. Purple growing is very defensible here. Purple growing is so defensible because red has open room, teal has open room, purple has open room. The fact that all of my opponents have open room still is also insane. Like, yeah, this is so good for me because they all have to fight for growth. Like, oh. I agree. Purple shouldn't take the cows. Purple has food. Purple should grow. But purple might take the cows just because, you know, it's what people do. It could happen. I don't think it's correct. I think purple growing is clearly correct. There's such a fight for growth still in this game too, but purple should grow or take 3 wood. Purple should grow. Cows and fence is absolutely the game plan deranged, yes. Cows and then fence. Oh, it's so sick. Oh, and it's happening! Oh my god, this is hilariously good. So good. So good. Rammed clay from purple. Okay, that's a bit of a concern. I might not get fence back. But if I don't get fence back, I'll survive. I'll eat some boar and breed the cows and life will move on. It is actually possible I was supposed to mini pasture on the bottom and leave my stables up top. That actually probably was smarter. I probably slightly messed up my farm layout here by not thinking through it and just letting it be. So that's a bit of a bummer, but the cows made more sense than 3 wood for purple, but obviously grow is correct. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think 3 wood is just a mistake. As much as everybody need, especially now that they have rammed clay, they really don't need 3 wood. What did red do? Red fished because hunger. I didn't think I had any idea. I mean, I might not breed 2 animal types. It's possible purple fences here just because there's animals and stuff on the board. But if I get fencing back here, I mean, yeah, it's hilarious. But I don't. I do get fence. Yeah, okay. I thought that might happen. That's definitely a bummer then, because it just means I laid my farm out slightly wrong because I can't breed. Oh, you're saying, yeah, I see. I agree. I laid this out slightly wrong. I think this fence action for purple is not actually that good as much as I was half praising it. I think it's wrong, but I just take the boar here and just take more food then. Like, that's fine. I need more food. This way I can breed the boar. Well, I'll breed the cows instead, right? I'll eat 2 boar, move them over here, breed the cows, just because breeding cows is more valuable. Well, or I don't know for sure. I'll have to think through this, right? How many animals am I trying to end the game with is what it comes down to. I only need to breed 2 cows to get 1 more point, but I also do need a lot of food, and it's probably just eat animals. You think breeding boar is better? See, I don't know if I want 5 boar deranged, right? Why not just end the game at 3 boar and take all that extra food, right? 2 boar is 6 food. So do I really have enough food that I'm going to be in a position where I'm like, oh yeah, I want a point instead of 6 food? I think it's really unlikely. So I think I just aim for 3 boar because I think I'm always going to be happy with the idea of exchanging 6 food for a point. Just build another stable and greed all the way. I mean, that is a hilarious option. But that's not what I'm going to do. Teal takes the sheep. Beautiful. Purple doesn't even get animals. Gotta love to see it. You think my food's going to be good as soon as I sow? Oh, I agree, but honestly, I'm not sure what I'm sowing. Although I guess I have so little left to do this game. Maybe I am sowing. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't have a lot left to do. Teal is so baking. Okay. So the sheep are going to come to purple at least. So kudos to them, I guess. So little left to do. Oh, the pun. I don't even realize I made a terrible pun. Oh, I don't feel good about that. But yeah, nice. I guess I do eventually need another plow. Or do I just start player shift in cultivation here? Start player shift in cultivation here doesn't feel awful. Because plow, sow, and grow are going to both be pretty good for me. So, okay, so deranged. I think this is a good opportunity to point out a flaw in thinking, right? I don't think there's any way I have enough food this game I'm ever actually going to have 5 boar. It's crazy, right? 2 boar is 6 food for me. I need a lot of food. I don't think there's any world in which I'm actually aiming for 6 boar. So then if I'm happy with only 3 boar, then I definitely want to breed the cow because it's just an extra food. And I think I need a lot of food still. Even if I get a sow action, I don't want to eat that many of my crops. So I'm gonna go with that option. I think start player shifting cultivation here. The only other play that I'm kind of interested in is just building the joinery, just because I have the resources for it. But we could hit growth, or we get a really nice plow sow. I'm gonna eat 2 boar here anyhow, so I'm fed and not even having to eat my crops yet. And if plow sow flips, I get a huge, beautiful plow sow. If growth flips, that's really the dream. Purple is my biggest competitor, and this pushes them to be last. Seems delightful too. You were thinking I was going to fence big this game. Oh, yeah, I'm not fencing big. I'm definitely, with plow driver and shifting cultivation, I'm not fencing big this game. I'm definitely fencing 6 spaces and aiming for 5 fields, maybe a 6th field if I just need another point. But yeah, I definitely want 5 fields this game. I have crops, I have lots of plows. Like I'm actually already plowed out now, right? Yeah, so okay, we're eating the pigs, and then we're gonna reorganize our animals right away. Just because otherwise we're gonna have to do it in a sec. Clear out the boar, max the cows, and put the boars over here. We feed. We definitely want to fence this round. So we take whatever flips, and then we fence. And then we do whatever. We do discard a boar. Bit of a sad, but sad days have to happen. You wouldn't have done shifting cultivation, would have done more food conservative, plowed less. Yeah, I think that's so. I think that's like a line you certainly could have gone down, but I think it's just wrong, right? That's where I'd be at. Unfortunately, we don't hit growth, so that's definitely a bummer. But to be fair, multiple people have 5 rooms anyhow, so like I'm just gonna get a late growth this game regardless, without really having to fight for them. So that's also welcome because I mean these players are going to grow to 5 anyhow with rooms. I'm at 30 points and I have a huge fence coming. I still can play a joinery just because I can. I eventually get some sheep. I might yet play an organic farmer. Nah, that's really unlikely. Yeah, I mean whatever. This game's stupidly good. I have most of the stuff. You just want a star player. I think that's fine. I could have just built the joinery last turn, Gonzo. Building the joinery is still totally fine. It just costs a stone and a wood. There's enough wood in this game. I might actually score some points on joinery just because I have time to take wood. Although these players have to take a lot of wood still. Although mini pasture is still in Red's hand, so yeah, whatever. You met with the start player. Oh, you think the round 12 and 13 actions are worth it? I mean, to be fair, this plow sow is incredibly good, right? I'm certainly not sad about this plow sow. Um, I got my crops like basically, here's all my points and crops, and I might still get a sow in the final round, I guess, with 2 more fields coming to score a little more and feed a little more. It's possibly an option too. But I definitely am just gonna fence here. I am gonna, yeah, I'm gonna fence, and then I could just SP Nada, I guess, but that sounds gross. I am fencing 13, yeah. I should get to grow to 4 Gonzo. I think I grow to 4 pretty likely. Teal shouldn't fight for growth without room necessarily, although Teal passed on grow here for 4 wood. I mean, I guess red has a sleeping corner, so as Teal, you're hoping that you're going to be allowed to. I don't know, whatever. Teal's game is just a mess. Red's game is a mess too. Both Teal and Red made just the error. It's late growth, and you just built too many rooms. Well, Teal didn't necessarily build too many rooms. Teal did have cheap rooms at least, but Teal has really wood-intensive miners and played a wood-intensive brushwood collector. And then Teal's main mistake, though, obviously, was food. Teal just didn't worry about food, and never could power into growth on all those rooms. Teal had a great opportunity to grow first and to grow third, because nobody else was pressuring him, but he just didn't have the food to follow through on it. So, I could take 3 wood before fencing, but Teal could fence on me, and I really just want to get these fences out of the way. So. Red did have the sleeping corner. You missed that? Yeah. Red did have the sleeping corner after all the nonsense. This geologist, by the way, is really, I think, purple's biggest mistake. This geologist is, I mean, I guess they have rammed clay, so it's kind of fun, but I think the geologist is clearly their biggest error. But whatever. We just do this. Okay, we're at 37, and 2 more plows take us to 40, but that's only 40. But I guess we have a lot of other actions, so we figured out. Red has a conservator, that's fine. Maybe I do take 4 clay here and just build the pottery, actually, instead of the joinery. 4 clay into pottery might be the right move. There's so much clay left in this game. Red doesn't need clay. Teal doesn't need clay. Purple doesn't need clay. So yeah, I think 4 clay pottery is pretty good. Yeah, I agree. I don't really have much left to do than guilds, so it's hard to analyze this endgame when I'm so far ahead. Yeah, I mean, that part's true too. I mean, again, I've won this game by a lot. Grab random animals. There is a sheep grab we want. I agree. We definitely want a sheep grab. We want to grow without room. To be fair, maybe we get grow without room. Nobody's taking start player away from us, so we might just get to grow at the start of next round. And then maybe wheel the sheep, although Teal wants sheep for loom, although Teal just wants food. Teal is getting the grow here, though, so I mean, that's fine and welcome. Whatever. Again, yeah, things are just delightfully good, and I do think wait, am I taking 4 clay here, or do I just take 4 reed for BMW? No, I take 4 clay for pottery. Pottery is better than BMW. Teal just played a market stall, which is pretty crazy when you have a stone oven. I don't actually think I would have played market stall if I'm Teal, but sure, whatever. I'm almost close to prioritizing the sheep over growth. Yeah, there's not going to be a tasty reed stack. Oh, and there's not a tasty reed stack at all because I don't know why, but there's just not, so whatever. I'm going to take 4 clay and hope to get pottery. If I get pottery blocked, it's going to be because purple is pottery blocking, but purple can just fence more, which is just better. Purple also needs to reno with that, so yeah, never mind. I should be fine, I think. I guess that came with a clay for them. Whatever. Teal's loom is sad. Yeah, it is. There is a play at BMW too. Yeah, there was a play at BMW until purple did it. But yeah. Fireplace from red on Reno, that's fine. Obviously, not a concern. The fact that red's not taking wood yet, though, like there's perfectly good 3 wood grabs and nobody's grabbing them. You meant that purple wanted red BMW. Yeah, I agree. It looks like purple wants to red BMW. So my next round, I guess the ideal is that I grow 2 sheep, pottery, or joinery. That's the dream. Um, yeah, and then I feed off of a cow and a veg. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, or a clay actually. Clay is an option too. Then, so we'll see what happens. Day labor makes enough sense. It's just a field for purple. Nobody's start playered yet. Red should just grow, you'd think, with sleeping quarter. If purple can feed, they should start for growth. It's certainly defensible, deranged. It's very defensible. Is it what they're gonna do? I don't know. There's also gonna be a 6 wood stack. Oh my gosh, this game is just nuts. Red might get. I think Red's getting 6 wood. That's pretty incredible for Red, actually. Um, yeah, it's nutty, but I don't. It's gonna happen. Because I will take 2 sheep. I'm taking 2 sheep or grow. That's my first action next round. Purple start player instead of being last is definitely defensible. Purple doesn't have a lot to do here. Um, yeah, purple doesn't have much to do. Purple's fencing remains really problematic, though. The fact that purple fenced like this instead of even fencing 10 with 2 pastures, so they could, like, purple just can't take animal pairs next round. So I think purple's fence move was pretty bad, actually. Like, it did get them some breeding sheep, but they barely needed the food. And I think it's one of those things where, like, if you just collect it, like, instead of fencing, they could have, like, just taken 3 wood or 4 clay or something, right? And then they just fully fence, and you save yourself a whole fence action later in the game. Purple is gonna start player though. Okay, I mean, again, this is fine. Like, if purple grows here, everybody's gonna be at 5 family members except me, and then I'll just get a 5th family member in the final round, and so be it. Or not a 5th, I'll get a 4th, right? But whatever. Um, Purple could plow sow here too, I guess. It seems unlikely, but it's theoretically possible. Taking 2 fence actions is on your oh no list, so it shouldn't entirely be on your oh no list, right? Taking 2 fence actions can be okay, but the important part to remember is that you have to get enough value out of the fence action. So what did purple get out of fencing? Purple got like a breeding sheep or something. That means that purple essentially got essentially what? Took a fence action that came with a sheep or something. When you breed only 1 sheep, that's really only a 1 sheep action that you're getting off of your fencing, right? I mean, I guess it's allowed them to hold animals while there's animal pairs, but I don't know. Nobody's taken 6 wood yet. I'm 100% taking 6 wood here. You think the fence action was targeted at me? I kind of agree. I suspect it was against me. Um, and I guess slowing me down is a fun thought, but I mean, purple's out of it. I've won the game. Like, but yeah, it's all good. I will take 6 wood into joinery, if I'm allowed to here, or 6 wood into more stables. Whatever. I'm taking 6 wood just because I refuse. I refuse to let wood be this neglected. You think I won the game when my round 10 was so? I mean, I won the game when so many of my rounds were so good. Like, I got to build the first hearth. I got to build the first room and get childless going. Then I got to build the first hearth and take the first sheep grab. And then it was round 7 growth when I had childless, and all my opponents decided to build a million rooms in round 7 growth. Like, yeah, you know, until round 10, purple is reasonable. I'm not sure. Yeah, whenever purple like double built, I was dubious about that. I guess it kind of worked for them because they got to grow. I mean, purple's geologist wasn't great, but yeah. You think the hate on fencing twice is way overblown? If you actually get value to the first, deranged. This is what I'm saying. Exactly. You have to understand you're getting enough value, though. You have to make sure you're getting enough value. And I don't think purple has this game. Like, I think it was just a bad fence action for purple. Like, uh, it's allowed them to do what compared to if they had chosen to just take resources and fence later. I think they're like maybe one sheep better off or something. Like, it's pretty bad to take a one sheep action. Like, right? That's essentially what purple did. Yeah, I completely agree with Gonzo. I think people overestimate how much value they're getting out of fencing early. Um, it certainly depends, but you're spending a whole nother action to fence again in the game, and actions are pretty precious in this game, right? So you have to make sure you're getting value. Now, whatever that value is, as long as you're getting it, then yeah, go for it. But BMW goes here. That's fine. I am gonna build the joinery here. Yeah, may as well be joinery. I thought I was building pottery, but joinery just looks better. So, I eat a cow to wood, here, because the wood is free. The wood doesn't cost me a point, so may as well eat it. The cow isn't costing me points either. I eat it. Just build pottery around 14. Well, so I have to take a stone to build pottery. So is my round really gonna be take a stone, build pottery, grow? I'm getting grow for sure next round. Well, presumably. I am assuming Teal's finding enough food to grow this round. He did just play an oven firing boy though, which he doesn't have any. He doesn't actually have any grain. Remember when I said that Teal needed to not play that stupid market stall? I'm gonna go back to Teal wasn't supposed to play the stupid market stall. Red also has like no food, but Red catching up to 30 points is kind of insane. But 5 room stone house max family does do a lot. But I mean, Red has to eat so many points still, and then still find more food. I mean, Red's just so hungry. Teal has lived on the streets before. He's willing to do it again. That could be. Uh, you think the market stall was not among Teal's big problem? I mean, it wasn't, but I do think the market stall is continuing to exacerbate Teal's problems. But I agree, it wasn't one of his biggest issues. I mean, but yeah, Teal has so many problems. Anyhow, I think my ideal next round involves a sow action. A sow action just gets me 1 point of grain and makes my feeding easy. My feeding isn't actually fully solved for next round. Um, it's really not particularly solved at all. I'm gonna have a boar to eat, but that's it. So, oh wait, I still have a veg to eat too. Never mind, my feeding is actually solved. I do think I already have enough food. Okay, so if I already have enough food, the sow action is really just a point, but I still might take it. Um, or maybe I'm supposed to take a stone and build pottery. It might be reedstone food into pottery, I guess. That's 3 points for 2 actions. That might be my best line, actually, which is kind of crazy. Or I might have to grow first action, actually. I mean, Teal. It does look like I have to grow first action. Teal is not gonna grow. Teal has to, I think, take wood here and bake bread with oven firing boy, and that is what he's doing. So the fact that Red had an option to take 6 wood this round. Red had an option to take 4 wood. Red's just like, nah. One of my best path to points is to fence a bunch more, but nah, I don't have time for that. So I mean, it does look like I'm still just gonna win by a lot. Nobody fencing this round is also kind of insane. Teal super wants fences. Red should want, or purple should want a fence again. Like, there's so much fence pressure. 3 players with 5 family members and double late grow before round 14. You love it. Yeah, to be fair, Teal failed to get. Teal's food has just been so bad all game. Like, Teal's still at 4 family members. Teal had so many opportunities to grow earlier this game and just continues to have to ignore them because he doesn't have food. But oh well. This game, yeah, this was just a nutty game. easy win here. Just childless plow driver, double late growth. Again, honestly, I wish. Well, I'm gonna be last next round. That's a bummer. Reds decided start players is best action here, but it might be. So you feel personally attacked. I mean, deranged. When I watch your games, I mean, I admit your food situation always makes me scared. So, um, I the food situation, a lot of players is definitely one of their weak areas. So, learning how to feed efficiently definitely helps. It makes you scared too. Oh, that's good. Um, Anyhow, Atlas, I see that. I'm gonna get to it in a sec. Yeah, the food situation is always funky, right? Um, what else was I going to say though? Oh, anyhow, I really love these double late growth games though. I do think one of the other ways that weaker players really show their weakness is in games where they don't get many actions. They really struggle when they have to be efficient. Um, if players can get away with just growing a bunch and having a lot of extra leeway, it really does aid them. I think weaker players definitely struggle how to play an efficient game. They're much better off when they understand if they can just attack growth and get a bunch of growth. So always welcome in my book actually to wind up in double late growth games, unless I'm the guy that has a carpenter's parlor. Then it's just sad. But anyhow, yeah, your buddy Atlas here is giving you a treat, and you perked up. Yeah. Oh my God, look at your drool. It's so much drool. It's a lot of drool. That's gross. All right, stay. Okay, there you go. We're eating a cow, and I said we were going to eat a wood. May as well, I guess. It doesn't cost us a point. But yeah. Yeah, hi, buddy. Hi. All right, everybody else is eating their points too. It's great. We eat a cow, we eat a wood. And we feed our family. All right. You just lost a Carpenter's Parlor game to Big Country. Guess which crowd growth flipped? Yeah, double late growth games kind of suck. So, you think the player who wound up taking the big stack didn't even need the food? You're sad our food stack didn't went to 10? Oh, yeah. You think I could probably get to 250 elo if you ignore every other part of the game besides making sure you're fed? Yeah, probably. Um, I mean, honestly, I think a lot of the players that are in the 200s, they essentially the only two things they understand are to build a lot of rooms, grow a lot, and feed. I think those are the only parts of the game they understand. And to be fair, that's that's enough to win games against weak players because the really weak players just don't understand to grow. They really mess up the growth queue. They just build rooms way too late and then they die. So yeah. Well, so that was the part I appended to Gonzo's thing as well, right? I think you have to know to grow. I think the two things you have to learn in this game are to just grow and feed. As long as you just push growth like a maniac and you still feed, you probably could get to like a 200s, 250s elo player because if you wind up at a table with beginners or players in the 100s, you'll beat them. They're not going to grow. You're going to have way too many actions. Even if you're not efficient, doesn't matter. You have too many actions, you're going to win. Much like happened in this mid game, the other big issue is when you're playing weaker players, they don't take efficient actions. And so things pile on the board. And if you have more actions, you get to take huge piles, just insane piles, things that should not happen. So yeah. The irony of Teal watching people go at 200 miles per hour and then running out of time repeatedly. Yeah, I mean Teal's watching his Formula One, so yeah, I mean it's where he's at. Hi Loki, we're still just begging. This is pathetic. My dog's just like resting his head on my lap. I just grow here. Do I have to grow here? I mean, Teal probably isn't going to grow, but also, how else am I scoring? Credit to Teal for sticking around. I agree. A lot of players, after messing up and taking four beggars and knowing they were going to be in fourth place, wouldn't have played out the rest of the game. So I really appreciate Teal here as well for just manning up and being like, yeah, I screwed up. I gave myself a ton of beggars. I got to play this game out because it's not fair to everybody else to quit. So, uh, in our defense, the rest of us are playing pretty fast. This is going to be one of my faster stream times, although partly, honestly, this game's actually not been that fast. We're 80 minutes in a double late growth game. So I'm guessing my timer is okay, though, compared to where it often is. I think I've just had enough time to think on other players' turns, and I've been able to execute Plan A pretty much the whole game. So um, I haven't been put into like tough things because I get to just keep executing great moves. So anyhow, how's the rest of the game going to score? It probably is just take Reedstone food and hope to build a pottery. I really don't know what else I'm going to do. So we'll try that. Red has an Ock. Wow, Red has an animal tamer. Is that really worth playing? I guess it is. Red doesn't have room to take sheep or boar and isn't building more fences. So Red's just going to clean up on some animal types. Although Teal also wants to clean up on animal types. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who's going to do what this end game. Teal also needs to take wood in order to bake bread. Teal also hopefully will take their moves slightly faster before somebody gets the idea to kick him. If anybody actually kicks him, that would be such poor sportsmanship, but I've certainly seen it before. So I can still read Stone Food Pottery. I agree. I think it's read Stone Food Pottery is how I end this game. It doesn't look like any. Oh no, he is. Somebody's trying to kick him. That's so annoying. Just kick them? Yeah, I mean, they can kick them, but God, Teal, please take your turn slightly faster and don't let somebody kick you. Like, ugh. It would be brutal to lose this win. Maybe it was better to build a pottery last round and then put the wood towards stables. Yeah, that's a good call, Gordon. That maybe was right. Well, somebody's trying to kick Teal, so hopefully he just does it. But what am I doing with the extra action this round anyhow? I could have sown, I guess, right? Instead of taking the stone there, I could have sown for a point. I could have played Organic Farmer for a point, but I mean, obviously, whatever. I might not have min-maxed this end game perfectly, but also I'm gonna breed to 54. I eat a board of I'm gonna or 55. This is a 55-point game, so hopefully Teal can play fast enough before somebody kicks him. But he's really not doing great about his whole time issue. I'm not sure why his internet is slow, but kicking Teal when they have one remaining actions, poor sportsmanship, for sure. I mean, unfortunately, the system kind of incentivizes it, right? Both of these players kind of want to kick him instead of losing to me, but Deranged is correct, right? I mean, it's a lot of cultural feeling too. Teal, you're supposed to play within your time limit. Teal's not. Like Teal needs to play faster actions. Although I don't remember Teal. When did Teal lose all of his clock? Right? Like how is Teal not built back his clock? But um, yeah, I mean, Teal should be going slightly faster than he is, but Still, with that said, when it's pretty obvious the player is there and like trying to take their turns, like you can see that Teal is literally taking an action and trying to bake bread and click through the menus. And then to click kick while he's actively taking actions, that part does feel kind of scummy still, though. Like, but whatever. I mean, again, you're supposed to play fast enough. Players can't kick you. So, purple does look like they're gonna have a clean second here. I mean, we've long said purple's game was second best because they were actually fed. Red just grew way too late. Built these rooms way too late. Never finished fencing. You know, just missing a bunch of stuff on the farm. No offboard points for red either. Red just has a sleeping quarter and a fireplace. You know, I have an insane number of offboard points here. That's where a lot of my extra points are. I also have some stables. I've fenced fully. I mean, this is a very winning board and farm. You'd agree they're not kicking Teal to punish Teal's speed. They'd be doing it to save themselves. Yes, I agree. That's the main thing. Like, it's really obvious that they're not kicking Teal because the game's taking too long. They're kicking Teal to save themselves, right? So, if somebody during the middle of the game, like in round 7, was constantly going over their timer, I'd be a lot more sympathetic to somebody kicking them and just be like, this game's too slow. You're not taking actions fast enough. Like, this has been a very quick is a stretch. We're nearly 90 minutes into my stream. Like, a 90-minute game of Agricola is, I'd call that average on BGA. Like, that's pretty average. That means everybody spent about 20 to 25 minutes on their turns. That's honestly even like a little long compared to some games, but yeah, it's pretty average. Like, it's a really reasonable time, but it certainly hasn't actually been quick. But yeah, regardless, Teal doesn't have any breeding decisions, and Teal doesn't have any feeding decisions. So luckily, Teal's harvest should be lickety split, depending on how much he's actually going to click confirm. But it doesn't look like Teal really has any more decisions to be made, so the game should finish. But yeah. I swore there was a house steward in this draft, though, right? Nobody actually played house steward ever either, which is kind of stunning. I'm going to look at the draft because I feel like there's a house steward, but this is how you saw it shaking out. I agree. Purple had a pretty good game. Red grew too late, but at least figured out how to feed. Teal just took a million beggars and did too many bad things. Maybe Purple had house steward? Possibly. I'm also just surprised that Purple got house steward then. Like, I'm a little curious about this draft. There's a lot of strong cards in this draft, and I wound up with a good number of them, but I'm like really curious about Red's first pick too. I think Red first picked Small Scale Farmer in a pack that had Plow Driver Scholar, and they did wheel Scholar. Scholar came all the way around. Again, I saw that pack, and it was Plow Driver Scholar, Groom, and some trash card I don't remember. But when you open a pack that has Plow Driver, Scholar, and Groom, I think I'm just taking the Plow Driver, right? Like, I guess Scholar and Groom might get taken by somebody else, so, but I think you gotta hope for that upside. Plow Driver is crazy good. There's nothing in Red's hand that I would draft over Plow Driver, right? I mean, like, none of this. None of that. Teal's Ox are also pretty weak. Purple's Ox, Tiller, and Grosh are obviously very good. But yeah, I definitely I'm pretty curious because I mean I got like I think this is like a third pick store. No, this was like a sixth pick storehouse keeper. I don't even remember. I'm gonna look at the draft because I'm a little curious on the drafts. But Teal's beggars don't end up mattering to the final score. Yeah, that's true. Teal just lost anyhow. Yeah. Teal did instantly feed. That's good. He was fed. I said I'm eating a board of veg. There we go. Feed our family. And then our animals should just come in. Nice. And then we just confirm that. And we get a beautiful 55. Good game, everyone. All right, only got 6 points there, but that makes a lot of sense. That was a pretty free win, so. He still has a very nice farm, better than you do. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, okay. So my thinking time actually wasn't that fast, despite always being on plan A, and Teal really was taking the longest this game. So I mean, as I said, this is slightly long game. I mean, a bit long there, a bit long on my part. This isn't particularly fast. This is pretty strong pace, but oh well. The number of actions this game, hilarious. They all wound up with 37 actions. I had 34. I mean, this is part of why fighting for growth in double late growth games just doesn't matter, right? They had to build rooms and do all this crap, and they got 3 extra actions. I guess they all have an extra. They do also all have an extra person on me, but still, like, you get 3 extra actions and 3 more points. 3 actions and 3 points that's a good value. But how many actions of this 37 did it take in order to get that extra action advantage, right? I mean, I also just got to do other efficient things. So, I mean, whatever. There's a lot to consider. But I just had really good resource grabs here, too. I gathered almost the same amount of resources as my opponents did, like, realistically, with less actions than they all had. And that's partly because I also just had way more efficient feeding actions. I got a 4 sheep action and a 2 sheep action, 2 boar actions, and a 2 cow action. Like, this is a lot of just good, strong food. And then I was able to just get food from cards. This is the well and childless gave me some food. And then, yeah, I converted some sheep into food, some boar into food, a cow into food, a little wood into food, food from veggies. So just was able to just really feed efficiently off of all my cards. I mean, Childless is always a monster, so I mean, that's a lot of it. Like, Childless is just dumb good for food, but feels like 3 actions per turn in the mid game is really important. 4 and 5 only matter late. I mean, it depends on the game, but yeah, I mean, there's also, you do have to understand that, yes, I mean, more actions just have less value, right? Because your 4th family member is going to be taking the 13th or 14th action of the round or something, right? I mean, that's just how it works. Like, and your 5th family member is going to be taking like the 16th or 17th best action on the board. So how valuable is that? Some rounds it's pretty bad. If you have good uses for your final family members, that helps make big families better. So like, that's where, like, with an assistant tiller, having a big family is great. You take day labor late, perfect. But yeah. If you grow into 4 earlier, correct. If you grow into 4th rapidly, it's also better. Like, you just get more total actions out of it, etc. But the Carpenter Brushwood guy building all the way out was correct. Yeah. Growing a lot of late growth games can still be good if you just get the growth. I agree. Look, if you're the only guy that builds to 5 rooms and all the other players grow to 3 rooms, the 5-room guy still kind of has advantage. Every time in Agricola, the guy that's zagging almost always has advantage. I had a lot of advantage this game because all my opponents built a ton of rooms. I was the only guy that was like, okay, I'm happy not growing again. I'm just going to make a pretty farm and focus on that. And I got to focus on just grabbing huge wood stacks, fencing, taking animals, feeding easy. That was obviously great because all my opponents weren't doing that stuff. So I got animal pairs easily during the mid game. That was great, so... Hey, Ikatara. I just wrapped up. I'm going to look at the draft and then head off for a bit. 4 actions is nice in the mid game. Yeah, 4 actions is often still good, right? Like, it's just important to realize. The key is to understand that a 3 family member game is totally fine, though, right? I think that's the biggest issue that a lot of 200 level players mess up. They really just feel like they have to build and grow. It's the only thing they know. They don't understand how to do efficient farming, and efficient farming is very strong. It definitely can win games. So you definitely eventually need to figure out how to play a 3 family member game. 3 family member games are tricky. You have to be efficient. You have to be efficient in how you feed. You have to be like very particular in what actions you're taking and how you're manipulating the board. So it definitely, I think, takes more skill, but it's really important to understand how to do that. Anyhow, I wanted to see this guy's pack because I believe this pack has Scholar, Plow Driver, Groom, and he first picks Seasonal Worker. Wow, this also has Mantelpiece, Loom, and Sleeping Corner. This is a crazy good pack, but you take Plow Driver here. You take Plow Driver, you let somebody else take Seasonal and Conjure, and you hope to God the Scholar comes back. And for what it's worth, the Scholar would have come back. And it would have been crazy good. I'd still take Sleeping Quarter then too. Plow Driver, Scholar, Sleeping Quarter, very strong. You go 3 family member game, you get your fields late, you sow into them with some grain, and then you still grow to 5 family members, right? My biggest issue in my game was I couldn't grow to 5 family members. That was my biggest source of points that I just didn't get. So I really don't agree with his seasonal worker pick here. Plow Driver is much better, but and then I did pass a small scale farmer, just forgot about it. There is a house steward in the game, but yeah. Okay, well that's interesting. So I did open a house steward this game. So let's see where it wound up. This guy has Carpenter's Parlor and then first picks Brushwood and passes Grocer. Obviously, I hate that. Never take Brushwood this early. You either wheel Brushwood or somebody else plays Brushwood, and then there's just that much more read in the game anyhow. Like, you take Grocer here. Grocer's stupidly strong and gives you a crop source. Wow, the Carpenter's Parlor guy almost does take Plow Driver. Plow Driver is the best card, but it doesn't work well with Carpenter's Parlor because you have to go big house. So then he's going to undo it and take Conjure or Loom instead, which is probably correct. Mantelpiece is really hard with Carpenter's Parlor because you're going to build a big house. Plow Driver is hard with a big house. So, okay. Yeah, and then, oh, he did take House Steward there. He had House Steward and just never had time to play it. That's wild. But, oh well. Okay. Looping back. Basic strategy is do stuff others aren't. Well, it's really tricky. It's really tricky to purposely do things other people aren't because you also kind of have to do what your cards are saying. So I partly was lucky this game because my cards were saying, hey, just go Plow Driver. And just rushing Plow Driver and setting up breeding animals meant that I always was probably just going to do that. And it was just really fortunate that all my opponents wanted to do other things. But if you're in a more flexible game, yeah, being able to zag while your opponents are all doing other things is great. Efficient farming is in planting animals. Efficient farming, I mean, is essentially, in the mid-game, instead of focusing on gathering resources and building another room, you're instead focused on setting up fields and planting crops, or you're focused on getting early fences and breeding animals going. There's a lot of efficiency in doing either of those paths and having your food set, so... you want seasonal, never know if you get past a tiller. Yeah, Scholar makes Plow Driver better in that pack. It is hard to commit to stone with your first pick, but yeah. Can I explain the best way to manage wood? You're still inexperienced, and when you play against a guy with Woodcutter, you always feel like you're guaranteed to lose. Wow. I mean, Woodcutter's not even that good of a card, right? I always chuckle when people play early Woodcutter, so... you think Grocer is a worse card for people in our ELO range? Yeah, so I do think that's fair too. I argue Grocer's really good, but again, I watch a lot of you guys, and none of you guys set up great food. And Grocer is a high skill card. Not only do you have to figure out how to feed really well to make Grocer good, you also have to always be thinking about the fact that you have Grocer resources and work those Grocer resources into your game plan. Otherwise, you're just going to have extra resources. So it is kind of tricky to like really maximize Grocer. It probably is a high skill card, which is fun. You play 4-player games. Do you wind up not having enough wood to farm? Okay, yeah, so deranged tips are really good. So 4 wood is a really strong action, like always. If you see 4 wood on the board early, it's probably the best action. If you see 6 wood, it's often the best action, although grow. Growing is better than 6 wood usually. I see people mess that up. Usually you'd rather just grow. But 6 wood is just very good. 4 wood is also just very good, though. Take a bunch of 4 wood actions if you can. Even if you can't take 4 wood actions, remember that 3 wood is just always a good action. 3 wood is totally fine to take. People do not take 3 wood often enough. If we ever get another game of all experts, you'll see that there's almost never 6 wood actions, and there's going to be a lot of 3 wood actions taken, even with high priority. 3 wood can just be the best action, like a decent amount of time in the mid game. Just take 3 wood. It's a good action. Like, there's nothing wrong with 3 wood. Why are you taking Reedstone food with Grocer intensifies? Yes, exactly, deranged. Like, that's kind of a classic mistake, I think, with Grocer. You're just like, you need to count how much read you need, and Grocer gives you 2 read. It frees you up from having to worry about taking some extra read actions. That's a big strength of Grocer. Figuring out how to use that read is great. Read is a kind of the tight resource in the game, right? 2 read is often an action. So if Grocer is saving you a 2 read action, and it's saving you a veg action, and it's saving you a grain action, that's when Grocer starts to become very powerful.
But if you're not using the read from grocer, it becomes much worse. So much worse is a stretch. It becomes a bit worse. But yeah. How can you grow without room? Sorry. So what I'm saying is sometimes I see people start player in order to grow. It's like round 8. 6 wood gets left on the board. They could grow or they could take the wood. They take the wood and then they still have to start player to grow later. That's a mistake. Just grow. Growing is still better. You're going to let somebody else have the 6 wood. Growing is important. If you just grow, you'll take 2 3 wood actions later. It's fine. But you got to make sure you grow. That's what I was trying to hit at. Now, if you can't grow and 6 wood's on the table, probably take 6 wood. I mean, generally take 6 wood, but generally take 4 wood. Just take a bunch of wood. I'd have to look at your games more specifically. I mean, part of the problem, again, is that a lot of players don't feed efficiently, and then you can't... If you're not feeding efficiently, you have to prioritize stupid actions like take 2 sheep, take 4 food bottom feeding, and then you can't take the 4 wood action that's on the board, right? So also, learning to just feed efficiently gives you a lot of flexibility on how to attack the board, and that also has value. Like, you don't always see it, but sometimes when you're not feeding well, you can't take stuff off the board, and that causes a lot of problems too. Anyhow, I'm talking a bunch and it's fun, but I'm going to head off, continue on with my day, but I'm off work today, so I probably will be streaming again more, but I need to go do some other stuff. So this is a fun game. We'll see if we can get some more fun ones. Maybe we can crack and beat Bubble and get back to second, but for now I'm heading off. So I'll see you all around later.